Welcome back to another episode of DEC Does What? I'm Sean Mahar along with
Erica Ringwald.
And Erica, it's summertime, and what better way to celebrate summer than fairs? And we have one of the most important fairs in the state coming up. It is the Great New York State Fair.
Yes, it is.
And Erica, who do we have on the show today?
We've got Bill Evans, manager and fish culturist from the Oneida Fish Hatchery, along with Emma Antolos, who is one of our wonderful public participation specialists in the Bureau of Public Outreach. Emma is also one of the behind-the-scenes folks who helps make the podcast great.
And it's great to have her on the show today. So welcome, Bill and Emma.
Thanks for having us.
Out of the shadows.
Yeah,
and into the light.
And speaking about into the light, it is the Great New York State Fair season upon us. The fair opens up on August 20th and runs through September 1st. So let's start off with you two. Bill and Emma, why is the State Fair so awesome, and why does DEC participate every year in the State Fair?
Yeah, it's a great representation of us as an agency. So we have a lot of staff who come out for the 2 weeks. We have our fish hatchery folks who do a lot of work on our aquarium building and bring in some really great fish from Oneida, and Bill will talk about that in a little bit. But we've also got license sales. We've got our ECOs, our conservationist magazine being sold, as well as our rangers. So it's a really great representation of all of what we do as an agency. So it's a great opportunity for people to come and see what we're up to and buy your fishing license, buy the magazine, talk to our ECOs. We also have some great free fishing events happening on Friday the 22nd and 29th from 12 to 5, so you can try out fishing. So we have a lot of great opportunities for folks.
Yeah, the State Fair is really a true celebration of all the greatness that is New York and everything that New York has to offer. And obviously DEC, we are at the forefront of providing those amazing outdoor recreation opportunities and also the important work to protect New Yorkers and keep their water clean and air clean and their natural resources protected. So it's a really great opportunity. I've got to go to the fair the past couple of years. It's been an awesome experience. But the one experience I had last year, Bill, was obviously one of the free fishing days. So we've got 2 free fishing days this summer. Why do we offer this at the fair, and what can people expect when they come in?
Well, they offer it because some people don't have that opportunity to get out and enjoy the great outdoors. So we have folks on staff to help them enjoy that opportunity and realize how much fun it is just to catch that first fish. And Emma mentioned free. Again, it's free admission. DEC, there's no charge to get through there. We have many different species from Oneida Lake. We have trout from Randolph Hatchery. You can see some of these awesome species live in the tanks. Of course, talking with any of the staff is free. The ECOs, the rangers, license sales, conservationist folks. And I did want to add, too, that the rangers and or ECOs usually have these great exhibits, different mounts and whatnot on site as well.
It's fun. You also get to meet Smokey Bear. Get
yes,
your picture taken if you want. It was fun to follow Smokey around last year. But Bill, I'll tell you a little story about the free fishing day when I was there last year. It was really great because you've got 20, 30, 40 people just around the pond there. Everyone's casting lines. We obviously provide the fishing gear for them to be able to partake and learn the sport and art of fishing. But I'll never forget, I was there not getting any nibbles or anything, and I watched this kid, and he worked the pond all the way around, right? And he was just going around, and he was honing in on this one spot, and sure enough, he casts it right in and nails this amazing largemouth bass.
Nice.
I think it was a bass. But he fought the thing. He was so into it. I've never seen a kid just so focused and so excited, and he pulls it out, and the smile on his face,
Sure.
he was just so excited about this opportunity, telling all his friends, and I'll just never forget just seeing that. And that's really what DEC has to offer at the State Fair.
Absolutely. And across New York State, hatchery stock, water bodies from north to south, east to west. There's plenty of opportunity out there for anyone really just go out outdoors and enjoy fishing. But to your point, some of the greatest stories are, kids or grandparents coming in and talking about stories of sharing that with their family or loved ones. It's just fantastic seeing these people light up. And it's called fishing, not catching, right? So the kid, he was working at it, finally caught one. It's a nice and rewarding experience.
Yep.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
It is. Now, Emma, we still have the aquarium building at the fair, too, so you can see some of these fish up close and in person, right?
Yeah, you sure can. It's kind of wall-to-wall aquarium, so you can see a lot of amazing fish that, Bill's folks bring in a couple days before the fair, right?
Yes.
Get it all situated, and we have some great, you can look up above the aquarium, and we have IDs kind of so you can see, oh, what's that? Oh, that's a sturgeon. Oh, that's really cool. So, and I know some of our staff also bring in some cool turtles too, right?
Yes, that's one of the favored exhibits is the turtle exhibit. We have some minnows in there, and they're always chasing those around, and some different frog species too. So, yeah, but there's no fishing in the tanks, Emma. Sorry.
Nope. So I think it's like it ranges between 850,000 people and 940,000 people go to the Great New York State Fair every year. How many people are coming through the aquarium building? How many licenses do we sell?
Yeah, it's quite busy. Yeah, I mean, I think last year we sold maybe 7,000 fishing and hunting licenses, as well as like patches and stuff that our trail supporter patch. We also gave away I think 6,000 tree seedlings from our Division of Lands and Forests. That's really exciting. You can get a free tree seedling from our Saratoga Tree Nursery.
We need to count those trees on the tree
25
tracker.
million, yes.
Yes.
So if you come to the fair, get your free tree seedling, make sure you go home and plant it and put it on our tree tracker so we can get to that 25 million tree goal by 2030?
2033.
33.
Got a couple extra years there.
But yeah, it's amazing. I mean, every time I'm there, working the fair, it's just packed with people. And it's just so nice because they don't have to be there. They want to be there. They want to engage. They love talking to the staff, the ECOs, the Hunter Ed staff, the Lands and Forest staff. Like, everyone just is so excited. They have so many stories that they want to tell you. So many, they want to show you pictures of things that they've caught. I don't know if you've gotten that.
Awesome.
One of my favorite stories is people will come up to me I got a free tree seedling from your building 15 years ago. And they pull out their phone and it's a photo of the tree and it's massively tall. And it's just that's so heartwarming. It's people really want to be there, and it's really nice to kind of get that face-to-face interaction with people.
So, Bill, what's been your strangest conversation to have at the fair with someone who's come up to talk fish with you?
That's a hard question. It's a New York State Fair, so we see
all of humanity.
So, the strange kind of becomes normal, I guess. But, people are people. Everybody's different. I really don't have a strangest.
Or what's your most memorable story?
But I was speaking with Emma earlier. So years ago, we used to stay overnight upstairs in that building. To keep an eye on the fish and make sure everything
was with the fishes.
Yes. And they used to have before the amphitheater was across the street, there was the infield concert stage, and they would have concerts there. So you would be going to sleep, and the concert would let out. And it was literally like some of these zombie apocalypse movies because you'd hear the noises in the background, and all of a sudden the doors, they're rattling, and you hear hollering, and all kinds of noises, all kinds. And then it would just slowly dissipate off in the distance, and you could go back to sleep. So those are quite memorable.
I have a good story from last year. We were doing setup. I'm not sure if you were there for that, Bill, but we had some guy, a staff employee, come in, and he's got this box. And we're like, uh-oh. He's like, I need help. Turns out he had found an injured hawk in the parking lot.
Oh, wow.
And
of course, bring it to DEC.
Right, exactly. And we just happen to have some ECOs there, and they're like, we got it. It's just of course, we got a bird in a box. That's a normal day for DEC. It was just very
we get those
funny.
call at the fish hatchery itself, just because they look up a phone number to DEC. There's a fawn on the side of the road, and of course, if you care, leave it there, right? So that's our motto, or we give them the regional office, to contact somebody. So.
Well, we're talking the Great New York State Fair on DEC Does What. We're going to take a break for a second and come back and talk about more of what the State Fair has to offer. So check it out on August 20th through September 1st, and stay tuned for some more awesome fair stories.
Get your hunting license today. Hunting and trapping licenses, as well as deer management permits for the 2025-26 season, are now on sale. Buy your license online by visiting dec.ny.gov or by calling us at 1-866-933-2257. You may also get licenses in person at a license issuing agent near you. Happy hunting!
Welcome back to DEC Does What. So when they're not staying in the aquarium building, where do the fish live the rest of the year?
Yeah, so those are all wild caught fish except the trout. Those come from our Randolph Fish Hatchery. But the other fish, majority of the fish are netted right out of Oneida Lake. So Oneida has a huge abundance of different species in the lake. But we do keep sturgeon at the Oneida Fish Hatchery because we're the hatchery that raises those. So we try to keep some on hand for display. And, of course, we bring them out to the Great New York State Fair to show folks. So that is the short end of it. Oneida Lake, Oneida Hatchery, and Randolph Fish Hatchery.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do people have a favorite fish at the fair?
Yeah, I think everyone has their own.
Who gets the most attention?
I think the sturgeon get the most attention.
Yeah. That makes
Definitely.
perfect sense.
Mm-hmm.
And the turtles.
And the turtles.
And the
right?
turtles, as
just
you
fish,
said.
right?
Yeah.
So,
They love those
right,
turtles.
exactly. Yes.
But Bill, let's talk Oneida Fish Hatchery for a second and sturgeon. So you raise sturgeon there. How big is this facility? Because you think sturgeons can get very massive.
Right,
Like,
so we
how
only
long do you
raise
keep
them 7 to 9 inches before we stock them.
Okay.
They grow quickly up to the first probably 12 inches, and then they slow down after that. So it really doesn't make sense for us to raise them any bigger. And their survival is near 100% once they reach 9 inches. They're very bony exterior. The scutes they're called. They're a modified fish scale, so fish don't generally bother them. Predatory birds may. But it's a joint effort between New York State, USGS, Fish and Wildlife Service to gather those eggs. Some of those eggs go to the Federal Fish Hatchery in Genoa, Wisconsin. We get a portion of those eggs to stock Oneida Lake, Cayuga Lake, and Niagara River.
That's awesome. What do sturgeon eat? What are we
That's a
feeding
great
them?
question. So they start off eating live brine shrimp, some of sea monkeys back in the day, and then we change over to chopped up bloodworms. People that keep fish at home, aquariums, probably are familiar with those. And then we transition them onto whole bloodworms, eventually chopping and giving them whole krill, frozen krill. And they will eat like a trout food or a pre-manufactured dry feed. They don't do as well, so we keep that frozen food going to them.
That's neat. So, Bill, I know you were a highlight of one of our fair videos last year, and if you check out DEC's YouTube
Yes, that's
page,
right.
you can see and learn more about the aquarium at the fair. What makes you so passionate about this fish culture work, and why is it so important to have these opportunities at the fair for people to learn more about this work?
Well, so I grew up fishing New York State, originally from Manoa, New York, which is just outside of Syracuse. Typical riding your bicycle to every little pond, stream, local waters, Green Lake State Park, all the tributaries going to Oneida Lake, of course, Oneida Lake. As I started getting into schooling and my father saying, well, you should do something you really enjoy. Okay, I enjoy fishing, but what kind of a job can get fishing? And then, of course, going to school for fisheries, natural resources conservation, that type of thing. And you start seeing, hunger's worldwide problem, so how can you get these people a high-quality protein food source? And you start seeing this recirculation aquaculture system, whereas if you can get a source of water, a small amount to make up that water, you can pretty much have fish anywhere. And I thought, wow, that's great. I'm going to try to study that and see what I can do with that. And I transferred from SUNY Morrisville to Cornell University. And then once I got out, I took the civil service exam. I was offered a job, started working for DC, and then it just kind of stuck, and I enjoyed it so much. Rome Fish Hatchery, Catskill Fish Hatchery, South Austin. I worked at 4 different fish hatcheries plus the Rome field station there, the fish disease control unit, as a seasonal employee. But just, again, you just go all over the state stocking these fish, and the people that just love it, they come down and they tell stories. They want to help. They want their kids or family, friends, whoever, to come out and enjoy it. It just really spoke to me.
Emma, how did you come to DEC?
I don't have the normal story that I think a lot of people on this
What's
podcast.
normal?
Yeah.
No normal.
I know. I'm originally from Queens. My parents are both city people, and we moved out to Long Island when I was young. I mean, my parents are not outdoorsy people, so I kind of found it on my own, which is really interesting. And then I had this really great teacher, Mrs. Platt, in high school, who really kind of fostered a love. She taught an environmental science class that I kind of was like, this is kind of what I want to do. This is really cool. This is really varied. So I went off to college at Binghamton and studied environmental science. And then I went on to grad school and at ESF and did more environmental science work and kind of found my weird niche in invasive species work.
Okay.
I know we talk about this on the podcast a lot, was when you graduate, where's the money at? And invasive species is a lot of money thrown at that because it's a big problem. So I kind of found myself doing like a lot of aquatic invasive species work, doing the boat stewarded program up in the Adirondacks.
Clean, drain, dry.
Clean, drain, dry, absolutely. I found myself in Wisconsin briefly, in a very rural part of Wisconsin on the Mississippi River doing aquatic invasive species work. So I was itching to get back home. Wisconsin is incredibly beautiful, but I was just like, I think there's more cows than people. But again, very beautiful. I appreciate my time there, but I was ready to get back. So I got a job working kind of in invasive species and lands and forests at DEC in Albany. And ever since then, I've been here since 2016. It's almost 9 years, which is crazy. Where has time gone? But yeah, and then I did a lot of invasive species work. And now I'm in the Bureau of Public Outreach, where I kind of do a lot of amazing work for all the different programs at DEC. So I like to joke, kind of a master of all trades, but no, what's the saying?
Jack of all trades.
Jack of all trades, master of none. Yeah. So it's like, I know a little bit about a lot. I'm no expert in anything, but
I know that feeling.
Yes.
Mile wide, inch deep.
Yeah, exactly.
Can name all those analogies.
Yep.
Was there a story about a tree?
Oh, yeah. There was a story about a tree.
Oh, now we're all going to gang up on Emma.
okay.
Yeah, Bill, thanks
I
for
thought it was a
playing.
great
All right.
story.
What's the story about the tree?
I love that story.
Oh, yeah. So, growing up on Long Island, we don't have a lot of access to green space. I mean, it's suburbia, right? And I was such an outdoorsy kid. I was climbing trees. And, I think our town came and chopped one of the beautiful maples in our front yard. I remember just looking out the window. It was so sad, but just like crying and being like, oh, like just something got that reaction to me. And my parents couldn't really care less. They were just like, oh, whatever. And I just remember like, wow, that like really affected me in a way that no one else seems to be affected by this. So after that, I was just like, yeah, this is really important to me. And, that kind of spurred my career and why I took those courses and went on to college to do that. So yeah, I always kind of joke, people from the city, people from Long Island, these more populated areas. It's like, nature really matters to them too. And I think we're kind of a forgotten group, it's really important for those people to get outside and have that connection, no matter how small it might be. It might just be their tree in the front yard. It's important for them to, feel that connection. And that's kind of why I wanted to take this job, right? To make sure those city kids, those, suburban kids feel that same way that I felt and kind of foster that. No matter where you are in New York State, you can get outside and enjoy it.
And is that what you bring to the State Fair at some of our exhibits?
Yes.
Really trying to inspire the next generation that way too?
Absolutely, yeah. And that's the really nice thing about the fair. You see these people and, I kind of like to talk to people and see what are you really interested in? Like some people might be interested in fish, but, I really like to garden. Oh, well, maybe you can plant a pollinator garden. Perfect. This is, something you can look. Here's some native flowers that you can maybe consider and just kind of finding their little niche. And there's really something for everyone, there's always some connection I can find when, to get them kind of thinking about, the environment and how they can help.
This is why we've got you out talking with people.
Yeah, I'm picking up on that, right, Eric?
Yeah.
So obviously this is another important opportunity at the fair to talk about the careers at DEC. Have you had any experiences where someone at the fair has then come to work for us or, anything where you've like inspired a person to consider a career in conservation?
I have to imagine, yes. One that comes to my mind was I remember a younger boy coming into the fish hatchery and, I live local and I want to be a ECO someday and this and that. I'm like, well, hey, here's the website. And this was a while back. And I don't know, I think 5 years later, he comes walking through the door all in his suit and everything, Christmas Starsick. And I was like, wow, fantastic. Good on you.
That's awesome.
That's amazing.
It was great.
Yeah, and that's the really nice thing is you had a lot of people who are like, oh, I'd really love to work at DEC. And you're like, well, this is the perfect opportunity. Talk to all these people. There's so many different careers you can choose. So it's a really great place to start and kind of talk to people. That's what they're there for 2 weeks.
Well, the New York State Fair is coming up. We're going to take a little break. And when we come back, talk a little bit more about some of the experiences and things that are at the fair, including the best fair food in New York that our guests like.
Want the latest news in air quality? Sign up for DEC Delivers to receive Airmail, DEC's monthly air quality newsletter, which includes information on air quality and other air-related issues in New York State. Sign up today by visiting dec.ny.gov and search DEC Delivers.
So we're back with Bill Evans and Emma Antolos, and we're talking about the great New York State Fair, which starts later this month on August 20th. I want to switch gears here, and Sean had mentioned your favorite fair foods. You want to go first, Bill?
I bet it's fish.
Oh, yeah. I'll bet it's not fish.
Fish on a
I'll bet
stick.
it's not fish.
Fish on a stick.
It's hilarious because
warm tuna
people
on a
always
hot day.
expect us to know where the good fishing is on the lake. And, albeit most of us got in the profession because we fished. But as you progress in your career, 20, 30 years down the road, fishing isn't what it used to be to me personally. I still enjoy it. I still love it. I enjoy taking people out. I prefer the Butcher Boys, some of the barbecue brisket type stuff. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
yep.
Stick to your ribs type food.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some good options there for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Emma, what about you?
Oh man, last year, I'm such a foodie that I scout out
Of course.
what is where.
Pay attention then.
Yeah. And I was looking for this one corn dog place. It sounds weird. It's a Korean corn dog. So it's literally
Okay.
mozzarella cheese coated in breading, and it's got French fries coated around the top. And it was incredible. And I felt disgusting afterward. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Disgustingly awesome.
Yeah.
Yes.
What an experience.
Wow.
good.
Wow.
Yeah, and I had to walk a long way. I was trying to find it, and it was just oh man, it was so worth it.
Nice.
Amazing. Okay.
So, Erica, you didn't grow up in New York, right?
No.
But you've
I went to the
obviously-
Illinois State Fair.
Yes. So, what's that experience like? And, what is your favorite fair food?
My favorite fair's food, probably pork chop on a stick.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that sounds unique.
Is that real?
Yeah.
That's a real thing?
That's a real thing. Super delicious.
Interesting.
Yeah.
You should search for one at the Great New York
Hey,
State
yeah.
Fair this year,
I
Emma.
feel
will
like they
look.
have them there too.
Okay, I'll have to look harder.
I mean, they
Yeah.
have a lot of stuff there.
It's not next to the corn dog stand, obviously.
No.
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 I've seen so many things on sticks. I haven't
Right.
seen a pork chop.
Yes. Yep. How about you, Sean?
So, well, usually kind of like Emma, I try and find the most unique food that I've never had, but I'm like, I should try that. And usually it is the crazy fried foods that are there, from fried Oreos and things like that. But really, I always try, because everyone talks about the fried dough, and there's all different kinds of fried dough all over the fair. So I have gone and tried all the ones to see which one's best. So usually, obviously not trying to be too healthy when I'm there, but trying to find the most unique food. And it's a great celebration of all the foods of New York. It's the whole fair is just a true celebration of New York State, but the foods of New York that are there. So definitely check it out and go on your own exploration like Emma and find the most unique food that you can find.
Yeah, I'm getting hungry now.
I know, seriously.
Always.
Ready for lunch.
Absolutely.
I'm guessing you get a lot of questions just from people at the fair, wholly unrelated to what DEC is doing there and what you guys are tasked with doing. What are some of the more interesting questions you get from the public?
Someone did approach me once about Bigfoot hunting.
Yes.
on state
Okay,
land.
let's go there.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Let-
Okay. Yeah, he was very serious. I think he even had a little logo on his shirt, this is his profession, and he was looking for Bigfoot on state property. I was like, hey man, go for it. Let me know.
So I
If you
hope
find it, let me know.
you didn't tell him about the lab.
The lab.
Erica, what are you doing? Why? You're not. Bill has access. Come on, don't put him on the spot.
Sorry.
Top secrets.
The basement of the fish hatchery.
Yeah.
That is funny. And listeners, it wasn't me. I am a fan of Bigfoot, but I did not ask him about
Oh,
it.
he looked familiar.
He had his big fake mustache on and
Big hat.
his big hat and a wig.
Yeah.
How about you, Bill? Random questions.
Not even close to that one. We usually have people asking us how, where to get fish to stock their ponds. And, New York State is funded by licensed sales, taxpayers. So we don't sell fish to the public. You need to contact a private enterprise and just go online, search private fish hatcheries or private fish for sale in New York State, and you get a pretty good list. That was pretty boring compared to Bigfoot. I apologize.
I feel you're holding back on those, Bill. So definitely come to the Great New York State Fair, find Bill and Emma and all the dozens of awesome DEC folks and tell them your stories, ask them their questions about their stories. But Bill, just on the Oneida Fish Hatchery, open year round, can the public come visit and see what you're up to and see the sturgeon that you're growing?
Yes. So I guess technically we're seasonal because our water source is Scriber Creek. We have no way of heating or cooling the water. Our temperatures range from 32 degrees to 82 degrees, and there's a window of temperature that fish prefer. So we generally have our raising fish from April through September, beginning of September. So you may see that we're closed in the winter times, but Monday through Friday, we're there. The doors are open. April through September, 7 days a week, 7:30 to 3. Come by. Yeah, there's no fee again. Come on in. We'll always have sturgeon there. Barring some catastrophe, is there some wood I can knock on? Just jinxed our hatchery. But yes,
awesome.
Sean, to answer your question.
And yes, Bill, you've been awesome whenever I've been out there and doing one of the walleye egg takes last year.
I have to say you were natural.
Fun.
He was all suited up in rain gear.
I love it.
Yeah, that was great.
It was fun.
It was fantastic.
It's a beautiful facility you got there, and very unique, like you said, with the water
Yes.
source, the way it works, along Scriber Creek, and it's just a really cool place to visit. So definitely check that out in your travels, listeners. But first and foremost, let's make sure you make it to the Great New York State Fair this year. Again, Syracuse, New York, August 20th through September 1st. Look forward to seeing you there and seeing Bill and Emma, and again, all the wonderful DEC folks who are going to be there throughout the fair. So thanks, you two, for being on the show today.
Thank you.
Yeah, we hope to see you out there.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, Erica, let's get out to the fair. We should have
Yes.
recorded this podcast at the fair,
I know that would have been great.
but I imagine Mike and the back end crew wouldn't have liked that. So
Probably not.
no,
A lot of background noise.
definitely. But Erica, we definitely have to make it out to the fair this year.
Absolutely.
Got to get you there. Because it is, what did we learn? The oldest state fair in the country?
Yes, and it's really affordable.
Definitely. So check out the Great New York State Fair website at
nysfair.ny.gov.
So the fair again runs August 20th through September 1st. Also check out our free fishing days on August 22nd and August 29th, where you can meet Bill Evans and the wonderful fisheries team from Region 7 and across the state. And check out the great fishing opportunities that New York State has to offer at the Great New York State Fair. But when you're not at the fair, Erica, what should everyone do?
Get outside.
DEC Does What? Is a production of DEC's Division of Communication, Education, and Engagement. Our theme music is an original composition by Mike Menza, wildlife technician with DEC's Division of Fish and Wildlife. Like what you heard on this episode? Please leave a review and share this episode with others. Want to learn more about DEC's wide-ranging efforts to protect New Yorkers and the environment? Visit dec.ny.gov or connect with us on social media. You can find us using @NYSDEC. For more information on DEC Does What, visit dec.ny.gov/podcast.